Bangor. From the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, testimony will resume this week in the trial of a woman accused of murdering her 3-year-old son.
Plus, people hit the road in Ellsworth to raise awareness about a rare and deadly disease.
And Brewer police have a new way to keep people safe along the waterfront. We'll check out their new bike patrol on this morning's news.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on Good Morning Maine. I'm Craig Colson.
And I'm Emma Smith. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Let's get a first check of that forecast. It looks beautiful, as we've seen so far.
Not a bad day out there. Devin Biggs joining us now.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, let's get at it here. We have some frost advisories in effect till about 9 a.m. this morning. So, of course, not very good for some of the flowers that's still dealing with some of those frost issues as temperatures do continue to cool off. But overall this morning, we are looking pretty nice out there. Just a few passing clouds. There's a little bit of rain off toward the west. We do have a slight chance for a few rain showers that will be developing throughout the daytime today. This will all be moving from the west going toward the east. So as the day marches on, the clouds will begin to move in, and slight chances for a few sprinkles or rain showers cannot be ruled out as the day progresses on. Futurecast for today, this will all be moving from the west going toward the east. Some sun possibly coming out later on, so this will not be an all-day event, and the sky will be clearing out tonight into the daytime tomorrow, maybe a little bit of fog tomorrow morning. So moving forward, the winds won't be too bad. They'll be out of the west at about 5 miles per hour in a few areas. Generally out of the west, but they'll be shifting between the northwest and the southwest from time to time as well. So your forecast for today, lower 50s, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for a few rain showers, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Later on tonight, lower 30s, mostly clear, some areas of frost as well, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. And your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, not looking too bad. Temperatures starting off in the 30s, making it into the 50s as the day progresses on. Increasing clouds, slight chance for a few rain showers. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
Thank you, Devin. Authorities have determined a man's death in Lemoyne was a homicide. That announcement made Sunday from the Maine Department of Public Safety. Authorities say it was last Monday when the man's body was discovered in a home on Shore Road. A friend had stopped by that home, and that's when the man's body was discovered. Officials have not confirmed the man's name because the medical examiner's office was still working to confirm his identity. No arrests have been made in the case, and the state police continue to investigate.
Well, testimony will resume tomorrow in the trial of a mother accused of killing her 3-year-old son. Last week, forensic examiners confirmed a disturbing discovery, and for the first time, the jury heard voice recordings from Jessica Williams explaining what she believed caused her child's fatal injuries. A.J. Douglas has more.
Friday, the state called members from the Maine State Police Crime Lab to the stand. Their testimony confirmed bloodstains found on 3-year-old Maddox's clothing. Blood was found on the front and back of Maddox's T-shirt, dinosaur comforter, and rectum area of his shorts. A Maine State sex crimes kit reportedly came back negative for semen. Maine State Police Detective Corporal Ryan Brockway says police had to track Trefethen down in search of answers surrounding the child's death. Members of the jury listened to a more than 2-hour recording of the mother's initial interview with police. Trefethen claims the injuries Maddox suffered are a result of rough child's play among siblings and an attack from the family dog. At one point in the recorded interview, Trefethen states, "When Maddox came to me like that, suggesting the child already had bruising prior to coming to live with her full time." Defense attorney Caitlin Smith says she is still hopeful that the jury will find Trefethen innocent.
I don't think that there's been anything that shows that Jessica did any of this. Jessica's innocent, and as the evidence comes in, that will consistently show that.
Smith claims that the state did not attempt to identify any other possible causes for Maddox's injuries.
The state decided that it was Jessica pretty much the moment that Maddox entered that hospital and didn't do an investigation into anyone else or anything else.
Next week, the jury is expected to hear from the medical examiner who will detail the injuries that caused Maddox's untimely death. In Belfast, A.J. Douglas, ABC 7, Fox 22.
And all Maine courts are closed today because of the holiday. Testimony will resume tomorrow when the court reopens in Belfast. Well, in other news, Maine State Police confirm a man who escaped from police custody has been found. Brett Doan of Lincoln fled from police Saturday. They say Doan was cooperative with police initially, but while being questioned, he fled while in handcuffs. Doan is wanted for multiple burglary and thefts. Police do thank the public for their assistance in that search.
Saturday morning, around 6 a.m., residents of 1208 Port Road reported a fire on the second level of the home. Machiasport Fire Chief Dave Nielsen says all residents evacuated the home without injury. According to Nielsen, the home is not currently livable due to substantial smoke and water damage. A total of 7 people were living at the residence and reported that there were several explosions that occurred. Nielsen said electrical problems could possibly have sparked the fire. However, the Maine State Fire Marshal's office is currently investigating the official cause of the fire. Nielsen added the 7 residents of the home are in touch with relatives and the American Red Cross to accommodate temporary housing.
Mainers are raising awareness of a rare disease that reportedly affects tens of thousands of Americans. Devin Dagnall has that story.
It's not easy. It's not easy for the victim going through it, and it's not easy for the family to watch.
The Maine affiliate for the Huntington's Disease Society of Americas hosted the Team Hope Walk at Ellsworth High School. According to Nancy Patterson, the Maine affiliate chair for HDSA, the event was to raise funds for the HDSA programs and to raise awareness about the fatal genetic disease.
The Huntington's Disease Society of America is there for support, for education. There are a lot of publications and webinars for physicians and anyone who's involved in the care of a person who has Huntington's disease.
According to the HDSA, it is approximated that 41,000 people in the United States have Huntington's disease, and even more family members are affected by it. Lori Wilcox, who describes herself as the voice of her brother DJ who is fighting the disease, says it's like Alzheimer's, MS, ALS, and Parkinson's all wrapped into one.
It's like you're just watching him deteriorate and you can't stop it. You can't help him. There's nothing we can do. That's why it's very important to do the walk, to do the walk for hope, to donate what you can, even donating your time.
Lisa Ashford, a woman who has been diagnosed with Huntington's disease, says one of the best things people can do is show their support by educating themselves and attending events like the Hope Walk.
It's awesome to see this many people. And I was actually able to have a best friend and my son and his wife here today with us. But seeing everybody turn out it's fabulous.
To learn more about Huntington's disease or any fundraisers in your area, visit hdsa.org. In Ellsworth, I'm Devin Dagnall, reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22.
Well, the time is now 8:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a bike and car show, a tattoo contest, and more. And it's all to raise money for local veterans.
But first, let's take another look at our forecast. Not a bad day ahead. Little chilly out there, but not bad this time of year. Mostly sunny with highs around 52. The good weather will continue tomorrow. Another mostly sunny day with highs around 60.
I have a great job. I get up early, head on out, and I get to work. I install solar panels. They power our homes and give me a great paycheck. When Paul LePage was governor, he opposed projects like this, putting Maine last for solar jobs in New England. He even said that climate change wasn't a threat to Maine. Look, we need more of these jobs, and that won't happen if we go back to Paul LePage.
The top funder of Better Maine is the Democratic Governors Association.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Ferriello Construction in Rockland is expanding and has immediate openings for laborers, transit mixer drivers, and dump truck drivers, loader operators, and a bookkeeper. To apply, visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/Ferriello Construction or call 594-9840.
Joe Biden and Janet Mills are working together to crush Maine families with rising costs. Mills and Democrats' radical plan targeting gas and home heating fuel will raise Maine's gas tax by up to 40 cents a gallon. And Mills' new tax on food and household essentials will increase monthly grocery bills by nearly $60. End the Biden-Mills crush on Maine families. Stop Janet Mills. The top funder of Maine Families First is Thomas Klingenstein.
Losing someone is never easy.
911 tonight at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Everything I did for my family.
The Cleaning Lady tonight on Fox. Baseball's biggest stars lead their teams in a fight for the crown. The MLB postseason on Fox.
Welcome back. A local veterans group and tattoo shop have partnered once again to raise funds for Maine vets. The annual fundraiser, previously known as the Veterans Benefit Tattoo Contest, has been renamed the Ed Sheffer Ink and Iron Fest in honor of the late Ed Sheffer. Sheffer was the owner of Diversified Ink and one of the founders of the original fundraiser. The event consists of a tattoo contest and car show that is free for veterans and $10 to the public. All proceeds for the event go to the Maine Veterans Project, an organization focused on veteran wellness and suicide prevention. Doc Goodwin, president of the Maine Veterans Project, says that starting the fundraiser, it has become much more than a tattoo contest and car show.
At the very first event, we noticed that some dialogue was being shared. So this event quickly morphed into not just a fundraiser, but a wonderful social event that helps veterans get out and talk about some of the most traumatic aspects of their lives.
If you would like to donate to the Maine Veterans Project, you can send a check donation to 207 Parkview Ave in Bangor or donate online at mainveteransproject.org.
A local hospital has received a new addition to help better serve its community. The Northern Light Mayo Hospital added a new ambulance to their fleet with the help of a grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. According to Regional EMS Operations Manager Chuck McMahon, the truck will make a fine addition to the fleet that is responsible for serving Maine's second largest county.
We have had a really critical need for new trucks. Both because of the volume that we're doing with transports has been increasing, but also our aging fleet and just inability to fund new trucks.
Well, according to McMahon, the truck has been fitted with all the gear necessary to ensure the safety and comfort of the patients transported inside. Along with funding for the new ambulance, the hospital also received funding for a new power stretcher. McMahon says the new power stretcher will be one of the most useful tools the team will have when they do unloading and loading of patients, making it much easier.
I mean, it's imperative that they have the equipment that they need. You know, they go into difficult situations, they go to trauma situations, and they need to have everything that they possibly can for technology and the best equipment we can give them so that they can do their jobs well and help people.
The president of Northern Light Mayo Hospital says that it would not have been possible to secure funding for the ambulance without the help of the USDA, and she's grateful to have received it.
The temperature is dropping and the cost of heat is rising. Fox's Richard Giacovis talked with a business owner who's providing the fuel and a homeowner who's paying for it.
On an unusually warm October day, the last thing Frank Michelli was thinking about was getting his oil tank filled up to heat his home this winter.
We had a couple of cold days. It starts to get a little raw, you know. The family doesn't like it so much, so we gotta do what we gotta do.
But Frank knows the cold is coming, and so are the sky-high prices.
We just got a bill, you know, and I got 71 gallons, and what did it cost? It cost me $375.
Due to the global energy crisis and inflation we haven't seen the likes of in 4 decades, nearly every American will be paying more to heat their home this year, whether they use oil or natural gas.
I'm seeing bills of 200 gallons that almost $1,000. Compared to last year, it was half that.
Paul Fortuna owns A&N Heating Oil Company. a family-owned business he's been running for more than 25 years. Paul says he's never seen it this bad and tries to work with his customers in the best way he can.
I see people struggling. I mean, like I said a couple of days ago, that people are putting on 3 different credit cards. And you think about it, they're not going to pay these credit cards off. And now the interest rate is so high, so they're getting hit both ways.
Experts say the average homeowner could expect to pay about 17% more to heat their home this winter. Those who use natural gas may get hit the hardest. And out of every region across the country, the Northeast will probably pay the most. But there are still factors to help you save, like getting a day like today.
Turn down the thermostat.
Frank will try to keep his thermostat down too this winter, but sometimes he'll have no choice. And ultimately, he knows he'll just have to pay it.
You can't do anything unless you're moving down south. And I don't really have any plans on doing that right now.
The time is now 8:15. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, a woman's right to an abortion was the theme for the Women's March in Washington. We'll hear from the protesters.
Plus, it was a chance to check out some amazing vehicles from our past. We'll take you to the big show in Seal Cove as Good Morning Maine continues.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
I've been lobster fishing for over 25 years. These out-of-state groups that are funding Jared Golden, they're hurting us here in Maine, and Jared Golden isn't doing anything to stop them. There's the Jared Golden you see on TV, and then there's the Jared Golden that votes in Congress. He's so focused on getting elected that he's lost touch with what matters here in Maine, and we need someone to fight for us. Unless he leaves his party, there's no way Jared Golden can do anything to help Maine. I don't think Jared Golden's a bad guy, but he isn't a good congressman.
We've got a 100-year-old company here, and it's because of the service, the quality, and the experience. It gets done right.
I think we've been doing it for so long. The only thing that we do, that when we walk into a room, we automatically know how to treat that window. We can take any product that the customer's looking for and make it work in just about any situation that they present us with. So
there's no reason to be overwhelmed.
No.
We can help you through it.
We're not going anywhere. We've been around for 100 years.
It's another exciting year of high school football in the state of Maine. Get out and support your home team and be looking for the ABC7 Sports Blitz crew. You can get a free Sports Blitz t-shirt, then watch Sports Blitz during ABC7 News at 11 every Friday night during the football season. Blitz shirts courtesy of Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store, Bucksport Golf Club, Bucksport Hannaford, Bucksport Regional Health Center, Coastal Auto Parts, Osborne's Plumbing and Heating Incorporated, the Coach House Restaurant, and Twin City Tile.
It takes all types to play Family Feud, but tell it all.
Name something Grandma wears that might also fit Grandpa.
Yeah, I know my grandma used to have a beard.
The Spicy Seniors.
Hey, Eddie, why they call you Fast Eddie?
Because he made me so happy so fast.
Whoa! Steve, it was a triple and a home run, baby.
See who shows up all season on Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Welcome back, everyone. The Brewer Police Department recently introduced a new unit to help keep the Riverwalk crime-free and to improve relations with citizens. Matthew Juronsik has more.
Take a stroll on Brewer's Riverwalk and you may stumble across Brewer police officers riding up and down the path. Adding bikes to their daily patrol, for Officer Brandon Curtis and Sergeant Zachary Karen, the idea is to be visible and keep the area safe.
We have a beautiful waterfront here in Brewer, something we're really proud of, and we're always looking at better ways to patrol it and keep it safe for the citizens and keep the shenanigans down here at a very minimum.
There are 4 officers that are part of the mountain bike force with hopes of expanding the unit in the future.
If we had a certain problem area where we could implement the bicycles, we would absolutely use these it's a very useful tool, so we would absolutely implement these whenever needed.
And as you can see, the Riverwalk is starting to become a little busy. And even though this is a brand new program, residents say they feel safe.
Here we feel very, very safe. It's just that I could walk here by myself. I do not worry about it. But in times past, it wasn't always that way. So this is great. We applaud it.
And while this spot is a heavily traveled area, VZ resident Ann Smith says she appreciates the effort the police department is putting into keeping the area safe.
It's always important that patrons feel safe in walking, and there's a lot of elderly There's a lot of young people that walk here, a lot of programs for the disabled come in and use this space, and I think it's crucial that they feel comfortable, safe. Well, thank you, first of all. I mean, I appreciate that they have the manpower to do it. Even just a sporadic monitoring and patrolling makes a huge difference in any kind of public walkway.
Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22.
On Saturday, the Seal Cove Auto Museum hosted its 9th and final Cars and Coffee 2022 event. The museum showcases specialty automobiles ranging from 1885 to 1920, while also hosting events that bring visitors from around the country. Executive Director Ethan Yankura says the event gives car enthusiasts of all ages the opportunity to come together. The brass-era cars featured in the museum oftentimes reflect powerful pieces of American history.
One of the biggest things that we have to our advantage is our changing exhibitions. Currently, we have our featured exhibition, Engines of Change, which is an exploration of the role that motorized transportation played in helping women earn the right to vote.
Yankura says new and engaging perspectives are conveyed through the museum's exhibits. The Seal Cove Auto Museum will remain open from 10 to 5 daily until October 31st.
Well, a new type of helmet outfitted with artificial intelligence, thermal cameras, and radars, helping firefighters see through dense smoke. Let's check out that story.
A new type of helmet outfitted with artificial intelligence, thermal cameras, and radar is helping firefighters see through dense smoke.
There's a real-world problem which has a safety aspect to it, a big safety aspect to it.
Crews in Scotland are currently testing the invention, which provides a better sense of direction once inside a burning building. Something researchers believe will keep first responders safer and help them locate victims faster. The technology is currently mounted on top of a standard firefighter helmet. Thermal cameras are able to pierce through the thick smoke as artificial intelligence picks up the presence of bodies in the distance, alerting the wearer in real time of their location and the location of potential victims.
Doesn't affect any performance. Very lightweight in terms of the equipment.
Data collected by the National Fire Protection Association reveals from 2015 to 2019, the U.S. saw an average of nearly 350,000 house fires each year, with an average of more than 2,600 civilian deaths annually. Meantime, officials from the San Francisco Fire Department say smoke from fires gets so thick it can turn the inside of your home pitch black in roughly 4 minutes.
So to have this integrated within either a visor or a helmet would be a massive advantage.
In the future, researchers hope to build the technology right inside of the helmet, while also giving the headpieces the ability to craft 3D maps for the wearer. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
President Biden is issuing a mass pardon to Americans who have been convicted of federal marijuana possession charges. That follows through on a campaign promise. An announcement may have been carefully timed for next month's midterm elections. As Fox's Doug Lazuter reports, it may be just the first move towards federal decriminalization.
Very few people are prosecuted solely on federal marijuana possession charges, but the president made it clear that he sees this as just the start.
For those who partake and who have been charged for doing so, this announcement from the White House could be welcome news.
This just opens doors that were previously shut to us, and I'm excited for the opportunity.
My pardon will remove this burden on them.
President Biden made the pardon declaration on a video posted to Twitter, and even the White House acknowledges that this doesn't affect many people. The vast majority of those convicted of simple marijuana possession are charged at the state, not federal level. And no one, they admit, is currently in federal prison solely on that charge. The move is not without critics who point to the changing face of drug abuse.
People think it's innocent. It's not. It's 20 times more powerful than it was in the 60s.
Still, the president hopes that states will follow suit, and he'd like the federal government to reclassify marijuana.
So I'm asking the Secretary of Health and Human Services and the Attorney General to initiate a process to review how marijuana is scheduled under federal law.
And even this limited move by the president could have wider political consequences.
It does not affect a big population, but it may force a conversation in states in gubernatorial races. It may force a conversation in Senate races, so it could have a bigger impact.
Now, the president has really come full circle on this, once endorsing the 1994 crime bill that significantly stepped up federal enforcement of drug laws. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Well, in other news, pumpkins are one of the season's hottest items, but turns out this year's intense heat and drought are giving these gorgeous gourds a run for their money. Richard Jordan has a look at how this fall's pumpkin stock is shaping up.
Just love doing fall activities like apple picking, pumpkin picking.
Pumpkins and fall pretty much go hand in hand.
We've never seen a pumpkin patch this big.
But this year, one of autumn's token symbols has been facing some hardships.
Generally, pumpkin yields are going to be a little lower than average.
And agriculturalists are pointing a finger at persistent drought.
There was a little delay in yield. So the drought in June, for example, just caused the crop to not establish as quickly, and that caused the delay ultimately.
A new study from the World Weather Attribution backs up these claims, citing how this summer's extensive drought that especially impacted much of the west and southern United States was 20 times more likely to occur due to climate change.
Climate change is already hitting us hard.
Researchers say this level of severe drought typically happens in the northern hemisphere only once every 400 years. But the study found ongoing levels of human-induced climate change are now expected to make these periods of extreme dryness occur every 20 years or so.
The good news is there's still plenty of pumpkins to be picked, to be carved, to be eaten. And as a consumer, I wouldn't worry about there being a pumpkin shortage.
And while the drought may not completely jeopardize this season's pumpkin plans, ongoing inflation could make your stroll through the patch a little more expensive.
Input costs are up, so fertilizer, pesticides, labor, everything that goes into producing a crop is more expensive this year than last year.
Richard Jordan, Fox News.
The time is now 8:26.
The cost of everything going up, even pumpkins.
No.
Let's check out your forecast, folks.
Thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices. With locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Frost advisories are in effect this morning. This will last until about 9 a.m. or so. For the counties highlighted here in blue, of course, temperatures are pretty cool out there this morning. Not good for some of the vegetation that's still growing out there. But as we do move forward, though, not much clouds to start things off. But that's going to be changing. We do have some more rain showers off toward the west. So as you do move forward, though, we will have to watch out for a few rain showers that will be developing along this front throughout the daytime today. High pressure farther down toward the south. But this will be our game for today, as we'll be watching for a few rain showers that will be developing. Just a slight chance, though. Most of us should stay dry. Just those clouds that'll begin to move in. Wave heights overall not too bad at around 1 to 5 feet, according to some of the buoys out there. No advisories along our neck of the woods. Is everything looking pretty low at this point, though. Our average high is now 61 degrees. We'll be only in the lower 50s today, so just a little bit cooler, but warming up as the day marches on. Then even some lower 60s later on as we head into the weekend. So temperatures will be rebounding once we get past today. Alrighty, your fall foliage, things looking pretty nice out there, though. We'll get a new update on this chart later on this week, but Millinock and Bangor seeing some good fall foliage. Ellsworth is progressing, and Greenville really at peak, so definitely get outside and enjoy that fall foliage before all the leaves begin to blow away. And we're just about at that peak time frame, though. About early to mid-October is when we usually see the leaves over in their peak category, so we're getting pretty close to that. Get outside and really enjoy the fall foliage. Future counts for today, though, increasing clouds, slight chance for a few rain showers. The clouds will be breaking up later on this afternoon. Into the evening time frame will be mostly clear later on tonight. Maybe some fog trying to develop in a few areas, though. Temperatures a little bit cool as well, but by tomorrow, not too bad out there with a lot of sunshine that will be coming out. So definitely get outside and definitely enjoy the nice weather. Today is also Indigenous Peoples Day, and there's a slight chance for a few rain showers today. Wind overall not too bad with temperatures that will be making it into the lower 50s. Moving ahead towards tonight, the lower 30s, mostly clear areas of frost again. with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Moving ahead towards tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly sunny. That west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast sunshine Tuesday, highs in the low 60s. Middle 60s on Wednesday with a partly cloudy sky, more clouds for your Thursday. Then rain moves in by Friday, temperatures in the low 60s.
All right, thank you, Devin. And when we return, we'll throw it over to Tyler Cruz for a look at our local sports.
Don't go anywhere.
The time is now, New England. Medicare annual enrollment is October 15th through December 7th. Hey, I know the glory of a final second win, but don't leave your health care decision up to a Hail Mary. And now it's more important than ever to have a team you can count on. United Healthcare offered some of the first Medicare Advantage plans in New England and is the only company with plans in all 6 states. Now, with more than 250,000 members, they're the leader. But it's not all about being the biggest. Trust me, I know. Sure, all their plans give you access to top doctors and hospitals throughout New England, as well as the nation's largest network of Medicare providers with no referrals. They're also affordable with $0 premium plans in every state, free primary care visits, eye and hearing exams, and no copays for labs, virtual visits, mammograms, and colonoscopies. There's coverage for glasses and hearing aids, and many plans have comprehensive dental benefits. Beyond the benefits, United Healthcare cares. Whether it's diabetes, heart disease, a disability, a knee replacement, United Healthcare has personal navigators, a single point of contact to help you get healthy so you can live your best life. United Healthcare is also the only plan to offer Renew Active with free gym memberships, thousands of online workouts, brain exercises, recipes, healthy lifestyle tips, and rewards for staying active. There are credits for over-the-counter items like vitamins and aspirins and zero copays on hundreds of prescription drugs. You may even get rewards for routine care like annual checkups and certain preventative screenings, all backed by one of the most trusted companies in the country and the Medicare Advantage leader in New England, United Healthcare. Choose and stick with the plan that is in it for the long game. Find out which United Healthcare Medicare Advantage plan is right for you. Call 1-800-236-3146 or visit uhcnewengland.com.
Welcome back in. Thank you for staying with us. Friday was a busy night around the state for some high school football. Probably our last one out there without a hat and gloves, but I'm no weatherman. I am just the sports guy who's about to run through 4 games in about 2 minutes. Let's go. We are going to start with Falmouth and Brewer up for Brewer homecoming. Second quarter here. Navigators down a score. This one is going to be Indy Backman taking it through his tackles for a 73-yard run. Huffing and puffing down the sideline. Get this man an oxygen tank after that one. Falmouth goes on to win 30-7, the final score. Let's move on now. Old Town taking on Madison, Carabec Valley, that co-op. Old Town looking for their first win. Jordan Kraft from the goal line. He's going to give it to Jordan Cody, who waltzes in for the score. Old Town up big already. Madison would come back a little bit, but Kraft is going to find Devon Alston. Takes a hit like a champ in the end zone. Comes up with the ball. Old Town gets win number 1. 42-30 is the final score in that one. Great win for those Coyotes. Been grinding out all season. Let's move over to Bucksport now. They're hosting Mount View. First year as an 8-man team for the Golden Bucks. Here's Cameron Weber. He's going to take the handoff, patiently follow his blockers down the field, as patient as he can be for a 44-yard score. Bucksport wins big in this one. Look at the celebration. They're all happy. 70-26 win for the Bucks. Staying with 8-man now, and we're just going to move up to Orono. Red Riots hosting the St. John Valley Mustangs. St. John, first year as a program, taking on the Red Riots. The opening kickoff here, and it's Pierce Walston, the basketball player. We know him from the court. On the opening kickoff, weaving his way through and in for 6. And then later on, it would be Jack Brewer from the gun on the goal line, firing it in for the score. Orono wins this one 63-6. Big win for the Riots there. All right, let's go down to Boston now, and we are going to pick things up with the Red Sox. They officially wrapped up their season this week, and as tradition, the front office gathered for an end-of-year presser on Thursday. The Sox officially finished last in the AL East, 21 games out of first and under 500, 78 and 84, the final record. So by Boston standards, right, that's not very good at all. President and CEO of the team, Sam Kennedy, he faced reporters after the season, and he accepted responsibility for the season while stating the obvious. They expect better.
Each and every year, our goal is to play baseball in October, and that's on us. That's on the group that you're looking at right here. We're responsible for putting a team on the field that's built to compete into October and win a World Series championship. We obviously fell way short of that.
Now that the season is all wrapped, there are a few major storylines to pay attention to this offseason. What's going on with Chris Sale? How are the Sox going to rebound? And what's going to happen with their key players, Rafael Devers, JD Martinez, and Xander Bogaerts right here. He had a grand slam the other night, especially Bogaerts. He is set to enter free agency this offseason, and Chaim Bloom says those conversations of keeping Xander in Boston going to start right away.
What I can say is this, that process is going to start right away from our end. And obviously, you know we haven't found that path yet. We still want to. We're going to work really hard at it.
All right, so some big questions ahead for the Sox heading into the winter months. Hopefully we get some answers in due time, of course. Let's move on now. Back up to Orono. Maine Field Hockey looking for their 7th straight victory on Friday afternoon. Mia Borley and the Black Bears, they're hosting the University of California Bears. It's an America East matchup, a rematch of the semifinals last fall, and Maine wasted no time getting into it. Chloe Walton, she gets a shot off. It's blocked, but Teresa Holubkova is there. She sends it back to Walton, 1-0 Maine. Tied up now, it's Kiki De Bruges. She would fire this one past the diving Borley, and Cal would take a 2-1 lead. We're still in the first. Maine with a penalty shot. Poppy Lambert taking it, and Poppy Lambert making it. This one was a nail-biter. Lambert would have 2 goals. Walton would have 2 goals, including the game winner. 4-3 is the final. All right, that's all the time we have for sports. We will be right back after the break.
You can always tell where Bruce Poliquin's been. Hanging around Washington politicians and the special interests that fund their campaigns, like big oil and drug and insurance companies. Poliquin leaves a bit of Washington everywhere because he's covered in it, supporting special tax breaks for big corporations and more government spending. No matter where you see Bruce Poliquin, you know he's always heading back to the swamp. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
On the next Last Man Standing, Eve's friend gets too close for comfort.
A mug with pictures of us. At school, at soccer. I don't remember that one.
I didn't have one of us hugging, so I pasted your face over my mom's.
And the Outdoor Man Grill is open for business.
Want to order a few plates to share?
Or I could just order what I want, eat all of it.
Or you could just be nice for once.
Which one of those gets me more shrimp?
Last Man Standing.
This afternoon, starting at 4 on Fox 22. You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is Monday, October 10th, 2022. We'll have a full check of the forecast in a moment. Today is Indigenous Peoples Day in Maine, marking the 4th anniversary of when the holiday was changed statewide from Columbus Day, with Maine currently being one of 14 U.S. states making the change away from the Columbus Day.
Well, today is also World Mental Health Day and International Day of Respect for Cultural Diversity. On this day in history, Wayne Gretzky made his NHL debut.
And birthdays today include Dale Earnhardt Jr., David Lee Roth, and Thelonious Monk.
You didn't know earlier today who David Lee Roth was. I don't know who Thelonious Monk is. That's quite a name, though. I love it.
Yeah,
so.
Jazz pianist. I grew up listening to him, so a little bit, but also Van Halen. So excuse me.
I guess that's why we have it here, so we can learn things every now and then, right?
Yeah, it's all different stuff.
I'll have to check out some video.
Yeah.
Anyway, now let's get a full check of our Monday forecast with Devin Biggs.
Good morning, Devin.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Monday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices, with locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. All right, let's get at it here. We have some frost advisories in effect till about 9 a.m. this morning. So, of course, not very good for some of the flowers that's still dealing with some of those frost issues as temperatures do continue to cool off. But overall this morning, we are looking pretty nice out there. Just a few passing clouds. There's a little bit of rain off toward the west. We do have a slight chance for a few rain showers that will be developing throughout the daytime today. This will all be moving from the west going toward the east. So as the day marches on, the clouds will begin to move in, and slight chances for a few sprinkles or rain showers cannot be ruled out as the day progresses on. Futurecast for today, this will all be moving from the west going toward the east. Some sun possibly coming out later on, so this will not be an all-day event, and the sky will be clearing out tonight into the daytime tomorrow, maybe a little bit of fog tomorrow morning. So moving forward, the winds won't be too bad. They'll be out of the west at about 5 miles per hour in a few areas. Generally out of the west, but they'll be shifting between the northwest and the southwest from time to time as well. So your forecast for today, lower 50s, mostly cloudy, a slight chance for a few rain showers, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Later on tonight, lower 30s, mostly clear, some areas of frost as well, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. In your hourly forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, not looking too bad. Temperatures starting off in the 30s, making it into the 50s as the day progresses on. Increasing clouds, slight chance for a few rain showers. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin.
The Biden administration sent CIA Deputy Director David Cohen to the Qatari capital of Doha on Saturday to meet Taliban's head of intelligence. It's the White House's first in-person meeting with the Afghan leadership since a U.S. military strike killed the leader of al-Qaeda in July. Fox News correspondent Alexandria Hoff has that story.
Included in this face-to-face summit, Abdul Haq Wazik. He is the head of intelligence for the Taliban. On the U.S. side, CIA Deputy Director David Cohen, along with State Department negotiator Tom West. This ends the nearly 3-month-long halt in communication between high-level U.S. officials and the current rulers of Afghanistan. The U.S. cut those lines after learning that the country had been harboring al-Qaeda leader Ayman al-Zawahiri. This was a blatant violation of the Doha Agreement, under which the Taliban vowed not to harbor terrorists if the U.S. withdrew troops. Al-Zawahiri is known as the architect behind 9/11. On July 31st of this year, the U.S. launched Hellfire missiles at al-Zawahiri's Kabul apartment, successfully killing the terrorist. Today on Fox News Sunday, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo weighed in on the renewed dialogue with the Taliban and U.S. officials.
Goodness, I have no idea how that conversation went, other than I hope what they did was to make clear to the Taliban that the behavior that they've engaged in violates the commitments that they've made, and that there will be real costs.
Without official comment from the CIA or State Department as of yet, the precise intention of the meeting is unclear, aside that it falls likely in the realm of counterterrorism. The Taliban has been struggling in their quest to legitimize their militant control of Afghanistan, and that includes being ill-equipped to prevent rising violence at the hands of al-Qaeda offshoot ISIS-K. Late last month, dozens were killed and more injured when a suicide bomber carried out an attack on an educational center in Kabul. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more news from around the nation and world. Don't go away.
Join Planet Fitness today and get more epic energy and better sleep with tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
I'm a Republican.
I'm a Republican.
I was a Republican state senator, and I voted for Paula Page, but I won't again.
Never again.
Tantrums, distractions,
fighting.
It's just bad behavior that costs Maine.
Janet Mills, she brings people together.
She doesn't care whose idea it is.
As long as it's good for Maine.
She balanced budgets without raising taxes.
We're Mainers.
Not complainers.
And that's why I'm voting for Janet Mills.
She fights problems, not people.
And that's our kind of governor.
You need a bed that's smart enough for both of you. The Sleep Number 360 Smart Bed senses your movements and automatically adjusts to help keep you both effortlessly comfortable. Our smart sleepers get 28 minutes more restful sleep per night. Don't miss our weekend special. The Queen Sleep Number 360 C2 Smart Bed is only $9.99. Ends Monday.
Before and Bath Fitter. Before and Bath Fitter. If you have a before bath, now's the time to call Bath Fitter to get a beautiful after. With our unique tub-over-tub process, there's no mess or stress. Spend smart on a beautiful new bath done right, backed by a lifetime warranty. Join over 2 million happy customers who know it just fits. Bathfitter. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
When the Granite Shop wants to know the weather on MDI, they log on to foxbangor.com. At the Granite Shop in Sedgwick and in Trenton, we have more inventory than all other shops in the state combined. Fastest turnaround, too.
Join Planet Fitness today and get more epic energy and better sleep with tons of equipment in our clean and spacious clubs. Join for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 14th.
Puzzles are easy. Family, that's a real challenge. It happens rarely, but everything clicks into place.
Young Sheldon. Weekdays at 6 on Fox 22.
Well, there were a series of attacks overnight in Kyiv as Russian President Vladimir Putin dramatically escalates his war on Ukraine. It comes just days after President Biden warned of a possible nuclear Armageddon. Fox correspondent Doug Luzader has more from Washington.
This latest series of attacks are widely seen as Putin's response to a number of recent setbacks. Russian attacks are once again focused on Ukraine's capital, where a number of civilians are said to have been killed. Kyiv had been relatively calm in recent weeks, but all that changed overnight. Ukraine's president, Volodymyr Zelensky, says of Russian forces, they are trying to destroy us and wipe us off the face of the earth. One former defense intelligence officer says this is likely just the start.
Putin will not stop from here. He will only escalate.
The latest escalation appears to be in response to an attack on a key bridge linking Russia to Crimea, an embarrassment for Putin. So what comes next? Just last week, during a political fundraiser, President Biden warned of a possible nuclear Armageddon, a statement aides have since tried to clarify.
What I can tell you is that through all that process, we just simply haven't seen an indication that Mr. Putin has either made a decision to use nuclear weapons in Ukraine or has done anything to get closer to that decision-making process.
A former Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, said the remarks were reckless.
When you hear a president talking about Armageddon as a random thought, just musing at a fundraiser, that is a terrible risk to the American people if he truly believes that he ought to be out talking to us in a serious way.
But either way, the war in Ukraine may be entering a dangerous new phase with more civilians being targeted. In Washington, Doug Luzader, Fox News.
Demonstrators in the Women's March making their voices heard Saturday in D.C., exactly 1 month before the November midterm elections, pushing to put the abortion debate at the front of voters' minds when they head to the polls. Fox's Alexandria Hoff has that story from Washington.
Pro-choice demonstrations Saturday in the nation's capital and across the country supporting abortion rights. Organizers call it a weekend of action, hoping to make the issue a deciding factor in the midterms.
This election is about a women's wave. This November, our rights, our benefits, our freedoms are on the ballot.
Protesters galvanized by the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade in June said the election is crucial to protecting abortion access.
We need abortion without restrictions. We need protection for abortion without punishment. We need abortion without criminalization. We need it. We must have it.
In states like Pennsylvania and Michigan, Democratic governors have blocked anti-abortion legislation proposed by Republican legislatures. Activists say those laws would put women's health at risk.
Abortion care is health care. We must abolish all their made-up laws that were created to cause hurt and harm.
Lindsey Graham leads a group of Republican senators who want to see legislation enacted at the federal level that would ban abortion nationwide after 15 weeks, a policy he claims to be in line with what most Americans support.
There's a narrative forming in America that the Republican Party and the pro-life movement is on the run. No. We're going nowhere. We welcome the debate.
President Biden has vowed to codify Roe into law if Democrats pick up at least 2 more seats in the Senate. In Washington, Alexandria Hoff, Fox News.
After the break, we have your upbeat stories this Thursday morning.
We like upbeat, but first, let's take another look at our forecast. Not a bad day ahead today. Looks like we will have temperatures right around 52 degrees, a mostly sunny day. Even a little bit warmer tomorrow. Highs around 60 degrees. Hopefully you can enjoy this nice fall weather.
I'm Bruce Poliquin, and I approve this message.
I've been lobster fishing for over 25 years. These out-of-state groups that are funding Jared Golden, they're hurting us here in Maine. And Jared Golden isn't doing anything to stop them. There's the Jared Golden you see on TV, and then there's the Jared Golden that votes in Congress. He's so focused on getting elected that he's lost touch with what matters here in Maine. And we need someone to fight for us. Unless he leaves his party, there's no way Jared Golden can do anything to help Maine. I don't think Jared Golden's a bad guy, but he isn't a good congressman.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, watch out.
Watch out. The insurance company may try to tell you that you don't need a lawyer.
Watch out. The insurance company may try to settle before you're done with all your medical treatments.
Don't trust that insurance company after your accident. You could miss out on a lot of money. Call the twos and we'll watch out for you.
Lowry and Associates watched out for me and got me $275,000.
Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do? Call 222-2222.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Fariello Construction in Rockland is expanding and has immediate openings for laborers, transit mixer drivers, and dump truck drivers, loader operators, and a bookkeeper. To apply, visit their Facebook page at facebook.com/Fariello Construction or call 594-9840.
If you haven't heard about Pictionary, the greatest family favorite game around, where have you been hiding? That's hiding. Under a rock? Come on, I'm really good at this.
Jerry O'Connell hosts the world's greatest family party game, Pictionary.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
I would win every time.
Welcome back. As we were saying a few moments ago, not a bad day today. It's going to be a little chilly, so you'll want to bring a coat when you head out.
All right, the sun's out though, so you can get some vitamin D.
Yeah, I've been kind of forgetting the coat sometimes. You look out the window and it's nice and sunny, and then you go out there and it's kind of a rude awakening. So
I know. Keep a sweatshirt in your car.
Yeah, keep it in the car.
Yeah.
Here's Devin Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Scott's Recreation, New England's largest trailer dealer, home of Maine's lowest camper and tractor prices. With locations in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono, Maine. Frost advisories are in effect this morning. This will last until about 9 a.m. or so for the counties highlighted here in blue. Of course, temperatures are pretty cool out there this morning. Not good for some of the vegetation that's still growing out there. But as we do move forward, though, not much clouds to start things off. But that's going to be changing. We do have some more rain showers off toward the west. So as you do move forward, though, we will have to watch out for a few rain showers that will be developing along this front throughout the daytime today. High pressure farther down toward the south. But this will be our game for today, as we'll be watching for a few rain showers that will be developing. Just a slight chance, so most of us should stay dry. Just those clouds that'll begin to move in. Wave heights overall not too bad at around 1 to 5 feet, according to some of the buoys out there. No advisories along our neck of the woods. Is everything looking pretty low at this point, though? Our average high is now 61 degrees. We'll be only in the lower 50s today, so just a little bit cooler, but warming up as the day marches on. Then even some lower 60s later on as we head into the weekend. So temperatures will be rebounding once we get past today. Alrighty, your fall foliage. Things looking pretty nice out there, though. We'll get a new update on this chart later on this week. But Millinock and Bangor seeing some good fall foliage. Ellsworth is progressing, and Greenville really at peak. So definitely get outside and enjoy that fall foliage before all the leaves begin to blow away. And we're just about at that peak time frame, though. About early to mid-October is when we usually see the leaves over in their peak category. So we're getting pretty close to that. Get outside and really enjoy the fall foliage. Future counts for today, though, increasing clouds, slight chance for a few rain showers. The clouds will be breaking up later on this afternoon. Into the evening time frame will be mostly clear later on tonight. Maybe some fog trying to develop in a few areas, though. Temperatures a little bit cool as well. But by tomorrow, not too bad out there with a lot of sunshine that will be coming out. So definitely get outside and definitely enjoy the nice weather. Today's is also Indigenous Peoples Day, and there's a slight chance for a few rain showers today. Wind overall not too bad, with temperatures that will be making it into the lower 50s. Moving ahead towards tonight, the lower 30s, mostly clear, areas of frost again, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Moving ahead towards tomorrow, lower 60s, mostly sunny, that west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Scott's Recreation extended forecast sunshine Tuesday, highs in the low 60s, middle 60s on Wednesday with a partly cloudy sky, more clouds for your Thursday. Then rain moves in by Friday, temperatures in the low 60s.
After the break, we'll see what's cooking in Mr. Food's test kitchen.
Sounds good.
$7.8 million. That's how much I made home sellers in the past 2 years. Planning on selling? I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
Seniors know a scam when they see one, like Bruce Poliquin.
My heart is breaking for our seniors in Maine.
He says he'll help Maine seniors. But the last time Poliquin was in Congress, he voted to cut $500 billion from Medicare. And he supports raising the retirement age for Social Security. Maine seniors can trust Jared Golden. Jared stood up to both parties to protect Social Security and Medicare.
I'm Jared Golden, and I approve this message because Maine seniors earned their retirement.
At Bouchard Cleaning, rebuilding and restoring means more than just another job. To us, it's about bringing back cherished memories, restoring unforgettable moments in time, and giving hope when all was thought to be lost. For over 35 years, our mission has remained the same. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
You in the mood for some more news? Welcome back. Magic time. Oh my God. We want to see it. Did you order a Drew Burr?
Wow.
We make new show for you, so take it with you.
The Drew Barrymore Show, Monday at 11 on Fox 22.
When selling your home, knowing your options could make you tens of thousands of dollars. That's what I do for my clients. I'm Holly Taylor. Come to the one who gets it done. HollyTaylor.Realtor.
It's time to take a trip over to the Mr. Food kitchen for a look at some good eats today.
Every day we get lots of questions from you on, how do I do this or how do I make that? And over the last few months, we've been getting more and more questions about lentils. It seems that these protein-packed legumes are catching on in a big way. And for those of you who aren't familiar with them, they look like dried peas and come in a variety of colors. The most popular ones are khaki in color and are referred to as lentils or brown lentils. There are also red and even green ones, and each variety has its own unique taste. When it comes to cooking them, we do it the same way we would cook pasta. We start with about 3 cups of water for every 1 cup of lentils. When they're tender, we drain them, and boy, are they ever versatile. Today, we're tossing freshly cooked lentils with maple roasted sweet potatoes and thinly sliced sauteed Brussels sprouts. What we end up with is a side dish that is autumn at its best. And if that weren't enough, I almost forgot to mention that this is tossed with balsamic vinegar and topped with roasted pumpkin seeds. To get the must-have recipe for our lentil and vegetable medley, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a lentilicious way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Mm-hmm. A Finnish study expresses concern about elderly activities. Researchers conducting the Retirement and Aging Study say those who are retiring should increase physical activities and avoid long sedentary periods. The scientists studied how movement patterns changed after retiring in 551 participants. For those retiring from manual labor, sleep and sedentary behavior increased, and for non-manual labor workers, moderate to vigorous activity fell off more than for light activities.
Some Hulu subscribers will now pay more for their plans. The streaming service is hiking up prices today. Subscribers will now pay $7.99 a month for the ad-supported tier. That's a $1 increase. The ad-free plan will now cost $14.99 a month instead of $12.99. The prices for Hulu's bundled plans with Disney Plus and ESPN will stay the same for now, but an increase is expected later this year. The live TV bundle will also dodge the price increase.
McDonald's is bringing back a Halloween classic. The fast food chain announces the return of its Halloween pails after a 6-year absence. The pails were first released by McDonald's in 1986 and became a container for putting candy in while trick-or-treating. Customers have 3 options to choose from: orange McPumpkin, green McGoblin, and white McBoo. The buckets will be available at participating McDonald's locations beginning on the 18th. Through